Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Episode 26 of the Shanty Sessions. Good evening, everyone. It looks like I'm taking up more space than I should, doesn't it? Shall I move over?
No, you're right.
No, I'm going to move over because you'll grumble afterwards otherwise. Well, look, good evening. Welcome to the 26th The Shanty Sessions live stream lockdown broadcast from the Rogue Shanty Chorus on behalf of the Rogue Shanty Chorus. And I'm going to say by the Rogue Shanty Chorus. That's Paul and I. We represent the Rogue Shanty Chorus. And we stopped calling it the lockdown broadcast. But look, you know, something happens from one week to the next and suddenly we are kind of in lockdown again, aren't we? Anyway, but look, we're not going to harp on about that too much. Just do us a favor and please click share.
There she is.
There she is, our old share.
Good old share.
Yeah. Hello to all our regular choir members. We love you and we miss you. The Rogues who usually would meet at the Seagull Theatre at this very time and at this very no, not this very place.
On this very day of the week.
That's what I was looking to say. Yeah. Usually we would meet at the Seagull Theatre on a Tuesday evening. But we also want to say hello to anyone who is not would not kind of identify with calling themselves as a member. But they do join us regularly. So we want to say a big hello to you. And finally, we want to say a very big hello to anyone who's either joining us for the first time this evening. What have you done? Or you've just maybe joined on a couple of occasions. So hello to you. And what are we doing here? Well, look, the Rogue Shanty Chorus is part of a wider creative arts and learning project called the Unique Coastal, Cultural and Musical Heritage of Waveney. And that is a project that is funded by the People's Health Trust. And they fund us to explore and celebrate and promote the associated heritage of the fishing industry of North Suffolk, in particular of Waveney. And part of that is that we have a wonderfully authentic shanty choir, and normally we would be meeting. And the reason that we're doing this is because when we could no longer meet together, as old Boris Johnson said, we switched our rehearsals to become virtual. And so we went online, and they've kind of evolved into this, a bit more of a broadcast, but also a virtual rehearsal. So anyway, I've said enough.
He has, and now it's time for something you're saying, and by that I mean we've been getting plenty of comments coming. So I'm going to go over to Comment Corner.
You need a jingle for that, don't you? There he is. There he is.
Rosemary Balkett. She says, "Hi everyone." Hi Rosemary. Thank you for tuning in. Get out of Comment Corner. And Chris Collins. She says, "Evening all." Good evening, Chris.
Are you going to bring the comments up then?
Go on then.
No. What's the point of having a comments corner if you don't bring up the comments?
It's all about me, really. And one from Linda Boyce. "Hello, patiently waiting for tonight's renditions." Well, I hope you've found us already. Michelle Gallagher says, "Good evening, Paul, Stephen, and fellow rogues." And then she's got an anchor alongside, which is nice. And actually, I will take the time just to mention that a lot of people think that when
what?
Not sure if we're still live streaming or not.
I'm going to go to this.
There we are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's just his laptop has frozen. Never mind.
That's done frozen.
So Comments Corner comes over this way tonight.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep going with the comments while we can.
Yeah, he's much bigger than me.
Huge. Carly Franklin says, "Evening, Stephen, Paul, and everyone." And by everyone, she means not just our normal rogues and not just people that have joined us for the first time tonight, but people that have started tuning in throughout the live streams. People like Kasia Marcinkovska, who says hi, and we say hi. Thanks for tuning in, Kasia. Lovely to know.
We don't just say hi, we say Vitami na nasz transmisi.
He does. I don't say that because I can't, but I can say hello. And hello to Maggie Clark. She says, "Good evening to all." Now, Sally Hardman isn't just one of our regular rogues. She's one of our pilots, keeping us on course and, plotting the course that or helping to, certainly. Sally Hardman says, "Hello, everyone. Hope all are well." Ben Southern says something very similar. "Hi, everyone." And we say hi to Ben because it's lovely to know that you're watching. So thank you very much. "Good evening, all," says Jackie Draper. And by default, Barry Draper as well. So I'm going to close down Comments Corner.
Okay. So the other thing that we have been doing just recently is we've been doing it for quite a long time now, is we've been featuring this wonderful, wonderful book by Edward Moore called Suffolk Words and Phrases. And if by magic, bum, 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 there's our copy. And we've been choosing a word kind of at random from that on a weekly basis, because dear old Edward Moore, he went off to service in India, and when he came back to Suffolk, his beloved Suffolk, he had a real particular interest in words, and he kind of felt that when he came back to Suffolk, many Suffolk-based words, colloquialisms, and peculiarisms had kind of started to become in decline, and he was a little bit concerned about that, and so he wrote this book. So anyway, long story short, his intention was that many of these words would continue to be used, and it might help to kind of stem their decline. And we think it actually has, because there are many words in that book that actually still are in common usage, and I guess we can only assume that it's thanks to dear old Edward Moore. But we choose on a weekly basis one word out of that we don't know, that we don't think is in common usage, and we ask you to guess what it is. Now, you can't win anything. We ask you not to cheat.
I think you might win the admiration of everybody watching if you get it right.
Absolutely, yeah. But so therefore it's a rubbish competition. But we ask you to have a go nonetheless. And this week's word of how you heard it, boy, is Shoshins. 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 So yeah, there you have it. Shoshins. Let us know what you think Shoshins might be.
You heard it, boy.
Yeah, Shoshins. And there was something else I was going to announce, and I can't remember what it was.
While you
now.
think of that, I'm going to pose our weekly question, which last week we didn't do, but this week I'd like to know, and it's very much carrying on the theme. I'd like to know, what's your favourite Suffolk word or phrase of the week? So out of all of our How You Heard It boys, of which there's been probably getting on for 20.
Quite a lot.
At least 20.
Quite a lot of them.
Maybe even 26. I can't remember because that was so long ago. But there must be 20 Suffolk words or phrases that we featured. And feel free, if you can't remember, feel free to comment on this next week, having gone through all 26 live streams, just to work it out. Please do either let us know tonight if you can remember a particularly memorable Suffolk word or phrase from How You Heard It, boy, or let us know next week. What's your favourite or most interesting Suffolk word or phrase that we have featured based on our Suffolk Words and Phrases book by dear old Edward Moore?
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at everybody's dear old Edward Moore or dear old Boris Johnson tonight.
Yeah, dear old. Anyway, let's kick off, and we're going to do a song now that was recorded by dear old Bob Roberts, and we got it from this book. And now look, this might be a record, 8 minutes in, and we're going to do a song. We kind of learned about this song from this book, A Slice of Suffolk, wonderful book by Bob Roberts, and featuring his kind of experience of life as the last remaining Thames bargeman. And he retired down to the Shotley Peninsula, to Pin Mill in particular, and there he whiled away his days collecting folk songs in particular from Suffolk. And this next song is number 42, by the way, if you are a regular member of our chorus and you want to leaf through and look for the number in your book. But it's a song called Candlelight Fisherman. It's quite a humorous song, as many of the songs that Bob Roberts tended to lean towards were. And we do put all the Roud Folk Index references up at the very end as part of credits, but it's Roud 1852, 1852. And if you have access to the internet, which I guess you do if you're watching, then you can find out more about it within the Roud Folk Index, courtesy of dear old Steve Roud. And this is absolutely an East Anglian song through and through. So Bob Roberts was particularly concerned with kind of archiving and recording and sourcing and East Anglian songs and Suffolk songs in particular, as he was down in the Shotley Peninsula, partly in Essex, partly in Suffolk. But there's many an East Anglian folk singer or sailor stroke fisherman have recorded this, including Phil Hammond of Morston in dear old Phil Hammond of Morston in Norfolk. Naughty word for anyone who's a real Suffolk person through and through. But also Jim Eldon, John Roberts, John Goodluck, very a great Ipswich lad. Not sure if he's still with us. Yeah, fair enough. And several more: Danny Spooner, and Cyril Tawney, of course.
Sparrow Sooner.
Technically this is what you'd call a catalogue song, so it's probably the nearest thing we have in English folk song to an example of communal composition, along with one or two others within our repertoire. And coincidentally, those one or two others you can actually flip the meter and the form of this song, put it within the melody of those other ones. But anyway, I think we've talked enough. Paul's going to give us. Actually, I wonder if someone, maybe Michelle or anybody, would just let us know if our balance is okay. If you can hear Paul okay. I always hog the decent mic, and Paul is
frankly he needs it.
Yeah, and Paul is going to take the cheap and nasty one. But let us know if you can't quite hear Paul enough. That's great, and as long as you can hear me. But anyway, this is Candlelight Fisherman.
And we're going to feature the lyrics for all of you rogues, or for anybody that wants to sing along with us. We're going to put them on the screen for you.
Oh, yeah, I better do that.
Yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to put the effect on so that we sound super sassy.
So we sound all right.
All right, boy.
Yeah. My dad was a fisherman bold, and he lived till he grew old.
Till he opened the pane and popped out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow.
Just to see how the wind do blow. Till he opened the pane and popped out the flame.
Just to see how the wind do blow. He often said to me, you'll be wise before you go.
Do you open the pane and pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow?
Just to see how the wind do blow. Do you open the pane and pop out the flame?
To see how the wind do blow. When the north wind roughly blow, thank you, then I lay right snug below, it's you.
And I open the pane and pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow.
Just to see how the wind do blow. When I open the pane and pop out the flame.
Just to see how the wind do blow. When the wind comes from the west,
how will it blow?
It will blow hard at the best.
So I open the pane and pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow.
Just to see how the wind do blow. So I open the pane and pop out the flame,
just to see how the wind do blow. Now a wind that's from the east is no good to man nor beast.
So I open the pane and pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow.
Just to see how the wind do blow. So I open the pane and pop out the flame,
just to see how the wind do blow. When the south winds softly blow, it's not enough for you to go.
So I open the pane and pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow.
Just to see how the wind do blow. So I open the pane and pop out the flame,
just to see how the wind do blow. My wife, she said to me, we shall starve if you don't go.
Open the pane, pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow.
Just to see how the wind do blow. So I open the pane and pop out the flame,
just to see how the wind do blow. So
all you fishermen bold, if you live till you grow old, do you open the pane and pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow? Just to see how the wind do blow. Do you open the pane and pop out the flame, just to see how the wind do blow? So there you have it, Candlelight Fisherman. Let's get rid of that.
Hope you liked that. What I liked
Screen
best
share.
about that was the well, it had to be the meter of and the BPM, because it was perfect to the lyrics.
Yeah,
for a change.
And this is, I mean, this actually flies in the face of what fishermen, most, I'm going to say most, because you can't generalize, can you? But most fishermen were terrifically hardworking guys. And this was a humorous song, as you can tell from the lyrics there. But it's about a fisherman looking for excuses not to get out of bed. And if the wind is strong enough to blow his candle out, then it's too rough to go out to sea.
That was a bit of a tradition, certainly on this.
Yeah, it was kind of a fishing thing, but I don't think they took it too seriously, because they never would have gone out based on the kind of the argument within the song.
Just blown it out.
So if the wind is strong enough to blow out his candle, then it's too rough to go to sea, and if it's not strong enough to blow his candle out, then it won't fill his sails and he can't go out to sea. Yeah. So kind of catch 22. Anyway.
Yeah, or just catch enough, really.
Yeah.
A few more comments we've had come in, mainly about Shoshin. So I'm going to go over to comment corner.
Oh, hang on.
There I am.
I think we added each other at the same time.
Yeah. So here we have a few comments. We've got Wendy Duncan. She says, "Hiya, everyone." And hiya, Wendy. Lovely picture you've got there. Claire Garrett. Hello, my hearties. I see what you did there, Claire. Lovely to hear from you. Thank you very much. And Chris Collins says, "Money earned by Troshin." And I think she means Shoshin. Is that what the word was?
The word was Shoshins.
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 Shoshins. So could those Shoshins be earned by Troshin? Who knows, Chris Collins? We'll have to get back to you on that. Janet Woods and dear old David Woods. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. Hope you both are well too, and thank you for coming along. Now, Jackie Draper says, "Welly's boots, Barry." I think that's Barry put that. Welly's boots. Is that what you think of Shoshins? I think that's a good. Yeah, you could shosh around in your Shoshins when the flood water's high.
Yeah,
I like that. Now, Linda Boyce, I think this is two guesses, Linda. One is sloshin, and the other is oil seeds.
Yeah, she's having a cheeky double guess there, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't think she means oil seeds. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Michelle Gallagher, favourite word to date, favourite Suffolk word, and if we could trust anyone to be on the ball, it would be Michelle Gallagher. Thank you. Her favourite is a Brumble Gelder, which sounds like somebody that put Live Aid together.
Do you know what? Actually, I think I'm with you on that, Michelle. I really do. Yeah.
Out of all the ones that you can remember, that's probably your favourite as well, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. And Linda Boy says oilskins. I knew she didn't mean oil seeds. So are the sloshins the oilskins? Now that's on a par with what Barry mentioned. He says wellies boots, but could be oilskins. Michelle Gallagher says sounded good so fast. Thank you very much, Michelle. Now, Chris Collins said, "Love John Goodluck." Yeah, we're big fans too. Johnny Goodluck. I'm sure he's still alive. I certainly hope so. And if he watches this, he'll be pretty offended.
He'll be annoyed. Yeah.
Yeah. You probably stop watching it. Claire Garrett also says, "All good so far." Rosemary Balkett says, "Sounds fine." Well, fine will do. Thank you, Rosemary. Very kind. Janice Marjoram says, "Evening, everyone." Oh, we've got Marion Boucher in the building. Not literally in the building, but in our virtual Rogue Shanty Chorus session. She says, "Greetings from Western Canada. Under a thick blanket of smoke." Oh, yes, there's been some terrible forest fires, hasn't there, in California? So that's incredible that it's reached you. It's been permanent twilight for the past 4 days. Can't see the sky, can't breathe outside. Marion, would you post us? I don't know if you're able to post us a picture in that comment section, but if you have one, please do. But yes, I've seen. Some of my friends live out in the States, although not as far north as yourself, or as far west, I don't think. But yeah, and I've seen some terrible pictures. It looks absolutely terrible, and I wonder who's to blame. Anyway, we can't get political. Predictive text says Linda Boyce, "Grr," and we're not sure if she means grr or if she means brr. Maybe she's cold. But yes, predictive text in terms of oil seeds and oil skins. I think we have another song that we'd like to go straight to now, and we're gonna leave Comments Corner.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of making sure my guitar was in tune. I wasn't dropping any big hints.
No, I think it helps. Like, hurry the heck up.
Nothing like get on with it. You
get you warm, boy.
Anyway, look, we're gonna do one that we know. Give me a second.
Now, I happen to know that a lot of our regular rogues that come along to the Seagull Theatre on a Tuesday night at 7:30, when we do such a thing, they particularly like the song, and I like it as well. And if you do like it, rogues, you'll find it in your folders as number 46.
And there's a kind of a little bit of a reason that we're doing this, apart from the fact that it's in our repertoire and it's a great song, and based on the fact that the Aussies have some fantastic folk songs. Mm-hmm. Two things really. One is this is called the Albany Immigrant, also known as Albany Immigrants, plural. Now, two things about this. One is that we know we've got some wonderful people who listen to this live stream from Australia, and in fact, some have even caught it live rather than watch again, which means they're staying up till about 2 or 3 in the morning. So if by any chance there is anyone from Australia watching this week, we want to dedicate this to you for some hardcore stamina and say thank you very much. But regardless of whether you're watching live or catching it whenever, just thought it might be nice for you to hear us murder one of your songs. And the other thing is, we've got some great friends in the Sheringham Shantymen, our folk group, the Rogue Shanty Boys. We've got a kind of a bit of a bromance going with them. We've been over to a rehearsal or two of theirs by invite, and a bit of music and a bit.
They shocked us with their drinking, and we shocked them with our language.
That's true, yeah. But they've been when we were on the festival circuit and seeing them around and about, they were one of the only groups who are very, very welcoming and encouraging to us. So we love them, and in fact, I think a couple of their number actually emigrated to Australia. Two of their guys actually moved shortly after setting up Sheringham Shantymen, and were instrumental, as I understand it, someone would correct me if I'm wrong, instrumental in setting up the Albany Shantymen.
No, I think they do singing as well. They're not just instrumentalists.
Yeah. But anyway, so if Titch or anyone from Sheringham is watching, let me know if I've got that wrong or completely right or something. But regardless of that, look, we're just going to do the song anyway. So it's number 46 if you've got a folder, if you're a member of our shanty choir. And so Paul's going to lead it. And
it goes like this. Oh, we sailed from Cork on a windy day with a dark and cloudy sky. Our friends were standing on the quay, the women stood and cried. We were young and out for fun and the riches we could find. Lift a glass, drink a toast to the girls we left behind. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for stray around the Horn. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for West Australia round the Horn. A brother was sailor man with the black ball line. He jumped ship in Albany and now he's doing fine. The letters that he wrote to us said, come out here and stay. So we're off to Albany in the morn without a care, we're free. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for stray around the Horn. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for West Australia around the Horn. Jack has a farm in Albany with livestock by the score. He says the trees can touch the sky, King Cowrie, so we're told. The sailing ships arrive each day with diggers off for gold, and 100 whales are plainly seen to frolic in the Sound. Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for stray around the Horn. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for West Australia round the Horn. Now we're underway, my boys, the ship's bells loudly sound. The quay is now well out of sight and we are seaward bound. And as we round Passage West, the good ship gives full sail, a parting glass to Erin's Isle from the swaying ship deck rail. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for straying around the Horn. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for West Australia round the Horn. They sailed from Cork on a windy day with a dark and cloudy sky. Their friends were standing on the quay, the women stood and cried. They were young and out for fun and the riches they could find. So lift your glass and drink a toast to the girls they left behind. Oh, Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for stray around the Horn. Paddy dear, drink up your beer, we're leaving in the morn. Aboard the ship, the Alice Grey, for West Australia round the Horn.
Okay, so that was Albany Immigrants, and just with a tip of the hat and a big apology to anyone from Australia who's watching, and thank you as well for
good day.
allowing us to plough through your folk song collection.
Although, strictly speaking, I guess with all of the, we kind of, this part of the world had played this part of our country played quite an important influx into Australia's.
Oh yes, it did.
Colonization.
The Rogues and the Rovers.
Yeah. I'm going to go over shortly to Comments Corner, which is over here. But before I do, I think we should feature our Suffolk word or phrase from the good book of the same name by Edward Moore. This week, we are asking, what does the word Shoshins mean? So once again, what is this word? Shoshins.
Shoshins.
And we've had a few people comment. And we've had a few people comment some other things. Oh.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
I don't know. My fingers just did the talking. Now, the first person is Sue Day. And she says, ahoy there to everyone. Well, thank you, Sue. And good to know that you're watching. Now, Sue was somebody that was, well, basically, she's a very good feature of our shows. And she's also been helping us on board the Pilots Committee. So thank you very much, Sue. And Sue would like us to mention that if everything had been equal and without the corona epidemic, we would be celebrating the end of the festivities at Harwich, because that is where the Mayflower was largely built in Harwich, and they had a big affair planned for the end of the anniversary celebrations, because I think it was the what date are we today? It's the 15th. I think it was the 9th of September that was due to be the end of that celebration. But hopefully we can have a delayed celebration sometime later. But we'll see. Anyway, thank you, Sue, for reminding us of that. And thank you to Monica Manning, who says, hi, Paul, Stephen, and everyone. Thank you very much, Monica. Now, Janet Woods says, Candlelight Fisherman must be the best doo-wop shanty. That's the way I hear it. And I'm going to assume that's from dear old David Woods, because he usually sings a verse in that. Apologies, Janet, if that was from you yourself. But as I said, dear old David Woods often sings a verse or two in that, and he sings it a lot better than I do. Michelle Gallagher gives it 4 rounds of applause. Thank you very much. We've got a comment from Sandra Warner. Hello, Sandra. Lovely to know you're watching. She says, hi, everyone. Just managed to get here. Been trying since 7:30. Oh. Well, we're glad you're here, but it's a shame it took you so long. Chris Collins is stunned into silence. And Jackie Draper says, was it you up the ladder on Saturday, Stephen, from Barry?
Oh, I don't know.
What ladder?
Yeah, you have to elaborate.
Do you mean... was this a ladder at your house, Barry? Or
yeah, you're going to have to elaborate a bit, Barry. I can't remember. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to escalate this comment.
We do. Very good. Yeah, needs to go straight to the top to find out what's going on. I know. There is a friend of mine who has a better memory, and I could ring him up. Can we push this anymore? No. We're going to step things up right now. Okay. Yeah. Right. So a couple of things to mention. One is we very recently announced that because of the government announcement that said that choirs could meet subject to sufficient and robust risk assessments, control measures, mitigation procedures. We kind of met with our committee, and long story short, we did a lot of work, and we announced that we would be restarting physical, socially distanced Shanty Chorus rehearsals at the Seagull Theatre from the 13th of October. And actually, that's been extremely popular. We can only have a maximum of 24 people in, and I think we've had maybe 20 or more reserved places already. Okay. Now we have had a few of you be in touch with us and say, oh, how about the most recent announcement that came out over the weekend? Now, okay, the short answer to that is we don't know. Okay, because when the announcement came out on Friday, the wording that came with it was pretty clearly not kind of, there was no impact on choirs. And then Monday morning, a document was updated which suggested it might be. So we basically don't know. This document that we're going to share it here is this one here, and it came into force, which I think is very interesting, at 12:01 on 14th of September. So basically midnight Sunday into Monday, but was only laid before Parliament at 10:30 a.m. That's 7 days, so over 10 hours later, and then was delayed. So, and it was only made on the 13th of September, which was still 2 days after they announced it. So look, I mean, I'm not going to get political and suggest that they're making it up as they go along. I definitely wouldn't do that.
I mean, who would?
But we, at the moment, we still hope that we can proceed. But obviously, every time these documents are published, we have to kind of plow through them and make sure that we're happy that nothing overrules our risk assessments, and our risk assessments are quite robust.
And we're poring over the documents to make sure we get it right, because obviously we are looking to keep everybody safe, including ourselves. We have families that you know we go home to after these things, but we have to safeguard everybody that comes along to our physical Shanty sessions for obvious reasons. So we want to get this right. We will get this right. It may take us a little while, but at the moment we're still looking at the Tuesday.
We hope to, yeah. If that doesn't happen, we will get in touch with you, okay? But please, if you're messaging us, stick around and wait for a reply. We can't just listen to a government announcement and then make our decision. We have to work through, because unfortunately there's no real guideline. You then have to work out how applicable it is to you. So we will. One thing we do know, and we have been waiting for a little while to announce this, is that our show, Songs of the Sea, which was originally supposed to be May this year and was cancelled because of the old Rona, and rearranged for October this year, that is not happening. Even if we do get back to rehearsals, we'll have had just one rehearsal before then, and our only rehearsal in over 6 months. So we cannot, that show cannot happen then. We have moved it to the 23rd of May 2021. Okay, everyone who has bought tickets has been contacted. We are very grateful to anyone who has said, yeah, I'll keep my ticket and just move it across to the new date. So in all honesty, I don't know what that does to the house and how many people have booked tickets yet. Hopefully quite a few have booked tickets and have kept them, but the bookings are now open, okay, for the 23rd of May 2021. We really hope that we wouldn't have to postpone or amend that date a third time, but even if we do, just to show that you are supporting the arts in the UK, we would love you to just book a ticket. 23rd of May 2021, the first Rogue Shanty Chorus performance in 18 months it will be, and it will be a stonker of a show, I promise you that. Anyway, look, time for another song, I think, and we're going to do one. We're going to dedicate this to our dear old Andy Marr.
Dear old Andy.
So it feels strange for us, even after 26 of these, not to have Andy in between us, usually stopping us fighting, but laying down a beat. And Andy loves this song because dear old Bruce Springsteen covered it. And it's a wonderful song, which we learned from Lydia Parrish in her book, Slave Songs of the Georgia Sea Islands, a song called Pay Me My Money Down. And although it's predominantly American, being not a Negro spiritual, but a plantation song, really, a stevedore song sung by the stevedores, the dockside waterfront manual laborers when they loaded and unloaded ships. We have it in the UK Rail Folk Index 21449. So anyway, but if you can get hold of a secondhand copy of this book, there's some fantastic songs for a start, some fantastic information about them, where they were sung, who sung them, why they were sung, the traditions, but also there were kind of many sub genres of songs that were sung by the slaves of the Georgia Sea Islands. There were Afro-American shout songs, there were ring play songs, dance songs, fiddle songs. We go through work songs, obviously religious songs, and we've kind of poured through many of these, and most of them are fantastic, and we love them all. And this is one of them that we put into our repertoire. Just for a laugh, look, we're going to put this on to old uke and guitar.
But not only that, we're going to sing it as well. And hopefully all of you rogues are going to sing it with us. And it's number 30 in your folders. If you haven't got 30, or if you haven't even got a folder, sing along with the lyrics we put on the screen. We know a lot of you will know it, and hopefully you'll enjoy singing along with it.
Yeah. Let's put this on scroll.
And let's put this on.
And turn it.
Get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Put this one up.
Thought I heard my captain say, pay me my money down. Tomorrow is my sailing day. Pay me my money down. Oh, pay me. Oh, pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or I'll go to jail. Pay me my money down. Wished I was Mr. Kirkman's son. Pay me my money down. Stay in the house and drink good rum. Pay me my money down. Oh, pay me. Oh, pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me, I'll go to jail. Pay me my money down. You owe me, so pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me, I'll go to jail. Pay me my money down. Oh, pay me. Pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me, I'll go to jail. Pay me my money down. Wished I was Mr. Foster's son. Pay me my money down. Sit on the bank and see the work done. Pay me my money down. Oh, pay me. Pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me, you'll go to jail. Pay me my money down. Yeah, okay. When I'm cleaning windows.
Hey! A couple of things to say, and I'm going to have to take it over to Comment Corner, which is over here. Now, in Comment Corner, we have a variety of things to mention. The first is that Sandra Warner says, look, Easter night had a lot about the Mayflower. Well, I imagine that's probably why, because it's the anniversary of it sailing. Or actually, no, I think the anniversary of it reaching America. And talking of America, nice little link there going on. Marion Bouchert, who's in British Columbia in Canada, so not at all America, although North America, says, doesn't look like I can post a photo, unfortunately. Let's just say that I can usually see the mountains from my back door, but they're invisible now behind a thick haze. Well, once again, you're making us very jealous, Marion, about the invisible, well, the mountains when you can normally see them. But I tell you what I would like to do, and I would like that to... I'll come back because I think I can show something of the picture you very kindly sent us. So I'm going to come back to that a little bit later. But Rosemary Bowkett, she says, fingers crossed, not sure why. But, oh, I see, for starting again. Yeah, that probably is why. Well, we have our fingers crossed as well. But what good that'll do. What else do we have? Eddie Godwin, good old Eddie. And he says, hello, Paul and Stephen. Hello, Eddie. Thanks very much. Nice to know you're tuning in, mate. Now, of our Suffolk word and phrase, which is this week, shoshins, Carly Franklin said, could shoshins mean innocence or inexperience? Well, I think that is a fine guess, actually, Carly. I really like that. So somebody messed up on deck today on account of their shoshins. That's a pretty good guess. I don't know if it's right. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, let's go back out of Comment Corner.
Okay, so what were we going to say? What were we going to say? I don't think maybe anything, were we?
Well, I'll tell you what, I might go straight into another one by or from that good book, as mentioned by Stephen, the slave songs of the South Georgia Sea Islands. I think I've got the words the wrong way around in that title.
Just of the Georgia Sea Islands, by Lydia Parrish.
Yeah, so this is another one from that, and it's called Goodbye, My Riley-O.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm going to mix this one up a little bit. I'm going to add on to the end another song that's from the same kind of genre, and it's called I Saw My Baby, I Left My Baby Standing. I Left My Baby Standing. And it's a song that I heard on a fantastic documentary that Stephen recommended to me. It's called The Beaufort Menhaden Chantymen. And again, it's from North America.
Oh, yeah. I know the song then.
Yeah. And it goes really nicely with this song, which is in our repertoire. It's called Goodbye, My Riley-O. I'm going to tack it onto the end a little bit. So if you get confused about where we are, please don't, because that's why we've added to it. This is number 27, I think. 22.
Yeah.
22 in your regular Rogue Shanty catalogue or folder. And it's called Goodbye, My Riley-O. Riley, Riley, where are you? Oh, Riley, oh, man. Riley, Riley, where are you? Bye-bye, my Riley, oh, man. Riley's gone to London Bay. Oh, Riley, oh, man. London Bay so far away. Bye-bye, my Riley, oh, man.
Riley's gone to Liverpool. Oh, Riley, oh, man. Riley's gone and I'll go too. Bye-bye, my Riley, oh, man.
I thought I heard the captain say, oh, Riley, oh, man. Tomorrow be our sailing day. Bye-bye, my Riley, oh, man.
Riley, Riley, where are you? Oh, Riley, oh, man. Riley, Riley, where are you? Bye-bye, my Riley, oh, man.
I left my baby standing in our back door crying. Lord, I left my baby standing in the back door crying. Lord, I never felt so sorry till she said her goodbye. And Lord, I left my baby standing in our back door crying. Lord, I left my baby standing in our back door crying. And I never felt so sorry, no, till she said her goodbye.
Bye-bye, bye, my Riley, old man. Bye bye, my Riley, old man. Bye bye, my Riley, old man. Old man. Old man. Standing in the back door, crying.
So that's our little mashup of a couple of songs, or a couple more songs from the wonderful book Slave Songs of the Georgia Sea Islands by Lydia Parrish.
Yeah, and a traditional stamp plantation song. The at least Goodbye, My Riley. I didn't know Paul was going to mix it up like that. He never tells me, so I can't speak with any provenance on the other song. But we will share the link of that documentary, which was a fantastic one, by the way. Although I wouldn't say the documentary actually was talking about the fact that the group got together to sing shanties, and as far as I could tell, mostly it was gospel songs, with the exception of that one you put in.
They were describing them as shanties, and they were recounting how they had sung them on board as work songs.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, look, should we go over to Comments Corner?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
Hello, everyone. We come to Comments Corner because there's a couple of things I wanted to do. One of them was to share this with you, which was a photo sent to us from the lovely Marion Bouchette. She wasn't able to post it in the comments, but I am able to share it here and now. And this is looking out of her back window, I believe. And it looks like this.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the smoke and the pollution caused by the Californian wild bushfires that they're really struggling to get under control at the moment. And as you can see, that really is terrible. And Marion lives in Canada, so if she's been affected to that degree in Canada, who knows how bad it must be for the inhabitants that are much closer to the wildfires. Thank you very much for sending us that, Marion. It looks awful. So our thoughts go to anyone affected by that, of course. So I'm going to stop sharing that. And I'm just going to mention that Michelle Gallagher says, love a medley. Well, thank you very much. We did like to medley that up a little bit. Now, we've got this from Linda Boyce. She says, what's in your tea / coffee tonight? Lol. Well, you can lol all you like. But in my tea or coffee, which is currently empty, I had oat milk because I'm not such a fan of the dairy anymore. Who else have we had comment? Yes. Wonderful Sally Hardman. She's been a little bit cheeky, and she says, sorry, I missed the live version of Tawathi by dear old Paul last week. And Sally sings Tawathi better than anyone we know personally, certainly better than myself or Stephen. She did find it on Catch Up Later. Any chance of hearing Fisher Lasses next? Probably not tonight, because as you know, weeks of rehearsals go into these productions.
Yeah.
And we
preparation.
But maybe we could do it next time. We really welcome your comments. We welcome your suggestions, and we love the fact that you put these comments up, because it means we can really engage with you. And if you would like to hear or see a song, we'll do our best to honor that, but probably not tonight. If you can hold your horses for next week, we'll do our best to remember that, and maybe you need to remind us. Chris Collins says, that is terrible and so far away from the source. You're absolutely right, and that's in regards to Marion's picture. I'll just show you that one more time. There really is a terrible, terrible scene, and Marion is taking that picture all the way from Canada, and the wildfires are in California, so we very much sympathize. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Well, so look, I think we're going to go into another song, yeah, just that really. This is a song called Blood Red Roses. In terms of route index, it's 931, which we'll share at the end as well, but I know people like to take notes, and it's number 20 if you're a member of our chorus and you've got folders. Anything else we'll actually share afterwards. Except to say, because I won't remember this afterwards, I'm sure, but we found this on an album by none other than Harry H. Corbett. And Harry H. Corbett, although he was a fine and very accomplished folk singer with a fantastic baritone, in fact, he was Steptoe from Steptoe and Son. Yeah. And
he also had, didn't he also have Ewan McCall and Bert?
Well, the album I'm talking about was called The Singing Sailor, which featured Ewan McCall, and I think was the only reason he got a record deal, actually, because people like to pigeonhole him as old Steptoe. So anyway, but this is Blood Red Roses.
He was what was he? A Shakespearean
He was a dirty old man.
He was a Shakespearean at the RSC, I believe.
He was, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So anyway, yeah, Blood Red Roses. Lyrics are on screen, but if you want to come sing along in your folder,
do so.
You can. Our boots and clothes is all in pawn. Go down, you blood red roses, go down. It's bleeding drafty round Cape Horn. Go down, you blood red roses, go down. Oh, you pinks and posies, go down, you blood red roses, go down. It's round Cape Horn that we must go. Go down, you blood red roses, go down. Round Cape Stiff through the ice and snow. Go down, you blood red roses, go down. Oh, you pinks and posies, go down, you blood red roses, go down. My dear old mother wrote to me.
What did she write to you?
Go down, you blood red roses, go down. Oh, Sunday sun, come home from sea.
Yeah,
go down, you blood red roses, go down. Oh, you pinks and posies, go down, ye blood red roses, go down. It's growl you may, but go you must. Go down, blood red roses, go down. If you growl too much, your head they'll bust.
Hey,
go down, you blood red roses, go down. Oh, ye pinks and posies, go down, ye blood red roses, go down. It's round Cape Horn you've got to go. Go down, you blood red roses, go down. For that is where them whalefish blow. Go down, you blood red roses, go down. Oh, ye pinks and posies, go down. Blood red roses, go down.
Well, the gals are waiting right ahead.
Go down, ye blood red roses, go down.
A long, strong pull should shift the dead.
Go down, ye blood red roses, go down. Oh, ye pinks and posies, go down, ye blood red roses, go down.
You've got your advance to seal, go.
Go down, ye blood red roses, go down.
Or chase them whales through the frost and snow.
Go down, ye blood red roses, go down. Oh, ye pinks and posies, go down, ye blood red roses, go down.
It's one more pull and that'll do.
Go down, ye blood red roses, go down.
Yeah, we're the boys, but a kicker through.
Go down, ye blood red roses, go down. Oh, ye pinks and posies, go down, ye blood red roses, go down. Oh, ye pinks and posies, go down, ye blood red roses, go down. Okay, so Blood Red Roses. So none other than A.L. Lloyd. So let's get rid of the lyrics there.
Oh, Bertie, good old Bert.
Bert Lloyd sung this. It was this is and was a Halyard Shanty, and he sung it in an uncredited role as lead shantyman on the movie Moby Dick, 1956. As we said, we found it from Harry H. Corbett's album The Singing Sailor, which I think is on like iTunes. We got an actual physical copy, but there's lots of other people out there, and I think actually certainly paints a kind of a nice depiction, or not a nice depiction, but an accurate depiction of the morale and the idea and the camaraderie, which was fairly dark, that kind of was among the men on whaling ships. But also some of the practices. In particular, we look at one of the lyrics. If you growl it's growl you may, but go you must. If you growl too much, your head they'll bust, which refers to a practice called Shanghaiing or crimping. And that was basically where guys, it was very difficult to recruit onto the whaling ship. It was very difficult. And just like the Navy used to use like press ganging techniques, Shanghaiing or crimping was considerably more aggressive. And if men couldn't be persuaded by a bit of money and the fact that they'd actually be kind of dobbed into Her Majesty's Custom and Excise for being smugglers, or even more nefarious practices,
even when they weren't necessarily.
Yeah, even when they weren't. Yeah, they would. If they were drunk enough on their way home, they'd find themselves clubbed over the head, and they'd wake up aboard the death ship, or the murder ships, as they were called. So, and then obviously that's before we even start to talk about what is the blood red roses. What does it mean? There's lots of ideas. It could mean the final spurt of the whale before it died. There's an idea that it referred to the pox, or a sexually transmitted disease. There's a theory that it could refer to the French uniform, the French military uniform, and lots more besides. But someone, I think, quite succinctly said to kind of speculate what does blood red roses mean is kind of very similar to I've just seen that comment. It's kind of very similar to trying to guess why the shepherds wash their socks by night. What is it? It's a place-holding lyric, but it does detract from a fine song. And as Sally said, yeah, even Rod Stewart has. I saw that, and I've not yet checked it out. Is it that song?
I've got to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Rod Stewart.
Oh, he talks highly of you. He really does.
Talks quite highly anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah,
very highly.
Yeah, good old Rod. I'm not a big fan of Rod Stewart. But
Sally, would you let us know? Is it this particular song? I assumed it must be, but I can't fathom Rod Stewart singing a whaling song or a sea shanty.
Said that, I can't fathom him singing the American songbook.
No, well, true that.
Yeah,
true that. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm going to go with something really off-ball now, if we've got time. What's time?
Yes.
Yeah. Now this is. I'm going to do my best to sing this in another language, and if I'm honest, it's going to sound like someone's turning the record backwards and or something like that, because this is actually a Viking shanty, an authentic Viking shanty, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background, only a little bit before I sing it. It's based on a poem called Eagle Saga. It's an Icelandic family saga poem on the lives of the clan of Eagle Skallagrimsson, an Icelandic farmer, Viking, and Skald, which was a poet. The saga spans the years 850 to 1000 AD and traces the family history from Eagle's grandfather to his offspring. Its oldest manuscript, which was only a fragment, dates back to 1240 AD and comprises the sole source of information on the exploits of Eagle, whose life is not historically recorded, so it looks like it was fictional. Stylistic and other similarities between Eagle's saga and Heimskringla have led many scholars to believe that they were the work of the same author, Snorri Sturluson. This work is generally referred to as Egla by Icelandic scholars. And it's from two poems of the Eagle Saga, chapters 40 and 57, and it's called My Mother Told Me. Now, the Viking...
My mother told me. No,
if I was good. Well, the two work very well, and now I've lost the melody, so thank you very much. Now, I'm going to do my best with the Viking version, and we'll sing the English version straight after. Vad mäktig min moder, att mer skuldig kepa, fle och vackra eora, vare brett med vikingum, standa upp I stafni, styra dyrum kneri, halda sveio till havna, högva man och annan, högva man och annan. Böl högstedt faste olli staffen fick se vägjafnan, ut med fjäoli melti, andek göten vanda, En svek boen sjælju, svær varon bære, Jestul sulft med gustum. Gandrof Stalvor Brandy. Now, I'll tell you who'd like that. I don't know if she still watches, but that's Julie Durrant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she likes her Vikings. But I'm just going to go for the English version, which goes like this. My mother told me someday I would buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up high in the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course for the haven, hew many foemen, hew many foemen.
Well, that was a lot quicker than the.
Yeah, it was a little bit easier to read, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But once again, I'm just going to mention a little bit about this. Now, the actual translation from Viking to English is not quite as straightforward as the lyrics suggest. And I should give a big mention to a fabulous Icelandic group. They're called Perli í Lotri, as far as I can tell. And they sing this in English, and they do a much better version than I did of singing it in Viking. But the actual translation is, "Thus spake my mother, for me they should buy a bark and beauteous oars, be gone aforth with Vikings, stand nobly in the stern, steer a dear vessel, hold course for a haven. Forest foe fiercely blowing, flogs hard and unceasing, with sharp storm the seaway, that ship's stern doth plough. The wind willow render with icy gust, ruthless our sea swan doth buffet, bowsprit and beak. With the file he strikes out hard against the steel of the prow steed on the flat path. With the chisel of the snowstorms, the opposite oared giant of the twig, but the cold made one of that willow. The merciless one files Jestil's swan with gusts, this wand of steel against the ship's beak." Now, I should just mention that a bark would be a sailing ship, typically with 3 masts, much like we showed you last week with the square rig sail. The foremast and mainmast would be square rigged, and the mizzen mast would be rigged fore and aft. That would be a typical bark. I will just carry on a little bit, because you're probably wondering, how does this relate? Well, in these poems, Eagle's Saga, Eagle joined the army of King Aethelstan of Britain, and or of England specifically. He composed a Drepa, which is a long Viking poem, in praise of that king. Eagle and Thorolf, his brother, fought with King Aethelstan in a battle against Olaf the Red of Scotland. Thorolf was killed, and King Aethelstan compensated Eagle for Thorolf's loss with 2 chests full of silver. So he came from foreign lands to help us defeat those pesky Scots, or at least Olaf the Red of Scotland. And that's all I've got to say on that. What have you got to say?
Not a lot, really. Do you know, we're going to do a song now, and actually, I think we ought to just acknowledge a comment there by Kasia Marcinkowska saying, "I love this song," and then also
she's corrected me.
Perli í Lotri are Polish.
Sorry.
And then she's also shared their version. Please do check it out.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Because it will be done properly. But we should say a big thank you to Kasia, because Kasia's been really supportive, actually, of promoting our stream to various Polish sites and forums. And as a result of that, we asked Kasia if there were any Polish groups that we could ask to become guests in our stream. And Kasia, you did suggest many weeks ago now Perli í Lotri, and we did message them. And long story short, I think they've picked up the message, and we're hoping to get them on anytime in the foreseeable, actually. So we will have them on, and it was because you got onto them that we found that beautiful song. So thank you very much.
Again,
we were in love with it.
Have a look in the comments section. Check this version out by Perli í Lotri. Hopefully we're pronouncing that correctly. But it really is a wonderful song, and they do it particular justice.
Yeah. So look, we're going to go now from Poland, or Viking land, to Ireland. Not so different, I guess, but we're going to do a song now called The Calabar. Fairly new to us. It's number 57 of, I don't know, 63 or 64 we're on in total. So I think this was the first song we kind of introduced to our repertoire within lockdown. So none of our chorus have sung this together yet.
This was on the 17th of March, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually.
It was
a brand
first
new
lockdown,
first lockdown song. Yeah, episode number 1. And this is a very humorous kind of food disaster song. Goes by many titles. And there's the guy who collected it, Roger Hart. He picks up on the wonderful insult, which he says is fairly widespread, push towards canal sailors, and they're called dry land sailors, which is quite a funny but quite an insult, really. He also goes on to say that he never encountered a serious canal song ever, and then he added that a canalman once told him that the worst danger on board canal boats was fleas. So that sets the scene for canal boat songs. This is a wonderful one.
There, isn't it?
Yeah, that seems to be there is, but we had planned to share this with our chorus with a talk by a member of ours. Paul's mentioned her already this evening, Sue Day, lovely lady, extremely interesting
and extremely knowledgeable about many things, including canals, and horses.
Yeah, and unfortunately didn't happen or hasn't happened yet because of lockdown and the old Rona. But anyway, this is a wonderful song. The kind of, I guess, lyrically and melodically most kind of chimes with the Clancy brother or Liam Clancy's version, and it's
although melodically it's quite similar to the ballad of
Our Breath.
There we go, the Our Breath Tragedy.
Yeah, I'm hearing that now already. Anyway, this is the Calabar.
All the good ship, Calabar.
Come, all ye dry land sailors, and listen to me song. It's only 40 verses, and I won't detain yous long. It's all about the adventures of this old Lisbon tar, who sailed as man before the mast on the good ship Calabar.
Now the Calabar was a spanking craft, pitch bottom fore and aft. Her helmet stuck out far behind, and her wheel was a great big shaft. With half a gale to fill her sails, she'd do a knot per hour. She's the fastest craft on the Lagan Canal, and she's only 1 horsepower. Now the captain was a strapping lad, and he stood just 4'2". His eyes was red, and his nose was green, and his cheeks was a Prussian blue. He wore a leather medal like he won in the Crimea War, and the captain's wife was a passenger cook on the good ship Calabar. Now the captain says to me, lad, look here to me, lad, says he, would you like to be a sailor and sail the raging seas? Would you like to be a sailor on the foreign seas to roll? For we're under orders from Portadown with half a ton of coal. It was early next morning, the weather had been sublime. When passing under the old Queen's Bridge, we heard the Albus chime. When going along the Gasworks Race, a very dangerous part, we ran a hole on a lump of coal that wasn't marked down on the chart. Then all became confusion, and the stormy winds did blow. The boatswain slipped on an orange, fell into the hole below. Put on more speed, the captain cried, for we are sorely pressed. But the engineer from the bank replied, the horse is doing his best. Then we all fell into the water, and we all let out a roar. There was a farmer standing there, and he threw us the end of his galosses, and he pulled us all ashore. No more I'll be a sailor, or sail a raging main. And the next time I go to Portadown, I'll go by the bloody train.
So the Calabar, it's not actually in the Round Folk Index, this one, but known as the Calabar, the good ship Calabar. the Manchester Canal, the wreck of the Calabar, the Strabane fleet. Lots of titles for this one. Anyway, never mind.
But arose by any other name.
Yeah, true that. True. So,
gonna go to some comments at Comment Corner now.
Comment Corner.
Yeah, Comment Corner. Now we have a few mentions on the Viking song, known in English as "My Mother Told Me," and we got our version. My mother told me if I was goody. We got our version from Pearly Elotry. But first off, Sally says, even Rod Stewart's done a version of that, and then she follows that up with something that I can't find. There we go. Haha, crap. Thank you. And we have a comment on the Vikings from Jackie Draper. Loved it. Loved the drone. Oh, well, Stephen did the drone, so I'll pass it on to him. And Marion Bouchette says, wow, love the Viking chant. Chris Collins says, Vikings, Jerry Poole. I don't know if Jerry Poole's watching tonight. If she is, give us a shout, Jerry. I saw you there last night, but I haven't seen you tonight. So what else? Sally Hardman, yes, said about Rod Stewart. It is the same. It's a version of the same, but some different verses. Well, we've got all the best verses. Marion Bouchette says that picture we shared earlier was minimum of 550 kilometers away, but the coastal winds bring it right to us. Talking about the wildfires in Cali. Claire Garrett says, really? Rod sang I Am Sailing, so would fit that. He would sing Shanties, maybe just me. No, that's a fair point. He did sing We Are Sailing, which is an awful song, in my humble opinion. Kasia Marcinkowska, she's already said, I love this song. And again, Chris Collins said, Jerry Poole, Vikings, woofer. Not sure what woofer means. Fantastic. Love Viking music, says Michelle Gallagher. And Carol says, that's nice. Annette Wood says, love the Viking song. And she said that on Facebook, but then she moved over to the platform of YouTube and said, our daughter Katie is currently working in Iceland and will appreciate this. Well, I hope she does. Thank you very much. She's very welcome to enjoy it, as was Callie Franklin, who gave it 4 rounds of applause. And we will just mention, having said about the difference between Facebook and YouTube, you can tune in, you can watch these live streams, all 26 of them, either on Facebook, or you can catch up with most of them on YouTube, but they're both available to view on both platforms live, or you can go back and check them out.
I would say as well, the other thing is that we broadcast out in high def, and Facebook downgrades all lives, not just us, but anyone. Doesn't matter how rich or famous you are or not. They downgrade all lives to 720p. So there's a little bit of a visual difference between YouTube and Facebook in YouTube's favor. However, the commenting facility is a lot easier on Facebook. So, anyway, I'm just going to come to something Paul said. Woofer, or Wuffer, he was an East Anglian, considered to be the king of East Anglia. Probably around the 6th century. And I think also maybe it's the name of like a Viking reenactment society based within East Anglia, but maybe, I can't remember who commented that.
That was
Chris Collins. Maybe Chris Collins would confirm that or not, or let me know. Anyway, look, we're going to do a song now. This is not actually in the repertoire, so we're not going to share the lyrics up. But this is a song called Rogues and Rovers, and aren't we all either a rogue or a rover, or a rogue and a rover, or a rover and a rogue?
Oh, I'd like to see you rogues and rovers come down to sea. I'd like to see you rogues and rovers go down with me. Let the sails set,
get the broadside wet,
come down to sea. We're setting sail
on the Erin Trail.
Go down with me. Oh, I'd like to see you rogues and rovers come down to sea. I'd like to see you rogues and rovers go down with me. Let the sails set,
get the broadside wet.
We're setting sail
on the Erin Trail.
Let's find the shoals
on the wave that rolls.
Come down to sea with the best of crews.
There's no time to lose.
Go down with me. Oh, I'd like to see you rogues and rovers come down to sea.
see.
I'd like to see you rogues and rovers go down with me. Let the sails set,
Get the broadside wet
we're setting sail
on the herring trail.
Let's find the shoals
On a wave that
with
rolls.
the best of crews.
There's no time to
In
lose.
the rig and tackle,
Tabernacle, come down to see.
all the foreyard on.
Seas are calm.
Go down with me. Oh, I'd like to see you rogues and rovers go down to sea. I'd like to see you rogues and rovers go down to sea. Let the sails set,
Get the broadside wet
we're setting sail
on the herring trail.
Let's find the shoals
On a wave that rolls.
with the best of crews.
There's no time to
In
lose.
the rig and tackle, all
Tabernacle,
the foreyard on.
while the seas are calm.
If we lose our way,
Then we'll lose our pay.
well, come down to sea. Better head for land.
Oh, we'll all be damned.
Go down with me. Oh, I'd like to see you rogues and rovers come down to sea. I'd like to see you rogues and rovers go down with me. Oh, I'd like to see you rogues and rovers come down to sea. I'd like to see you rogues and rovers go down with me.
Oh, I was just going to deliberately miss that 2/4 bar just to annoy Paul and come in early.
Crazy when he does.
Anyway, so that was one of Paul's songs. That was an original song. Well, it certainly was, when he stole it from someone.
Yeah,
anyway.
Heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
Wrote it down. It's mine now.
Yes. Let's do a couple of things. Go back to a couple of announcements. One is that we have our Hey Heard It Boy, and that the word of the week is Shoshins. 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 And that's our word, and we want you to have a guess what it is. You have been very nobly trying already. I can't even remember what it actually is, so you could well be right. But the other thing is, we ought to say thank you very much to our funders, which is People's Health Trust, and they fund not only the Shanty Sessions live stream, but our wider project, which is the cultural and creative learning project, which looks to celebrate and promote and explore the associated heritage of the fishing industry of North Suffolk and Waveney and coastal East Anglia. So we want to say thank you very, very much to them. If you would, however, like to also support what we're doing and make a donation, you would be very, very welcome to. You can do that by visiting www.paypal.me/online choir. And then you don't have to have PayPal, by the way, to do that. You can then pay by debit card, which is attached to your bank. So and you're very welcome to donate any amount, large or small. So if you do so, thank you very much in advance. And then the other thing that we want to say is that we have announced that we are restarting physical rehearsals, socially distanced, with a limited capacity of just 24 people from the 13th of October. We announced that about a week ago, and booking would be essential. We would absolutely need to know that we knew who was coming, and also that we direct you to a specific web page that has all our control measures on that you would have to agree to comply with in order to come along, which is basically our risk assessment in order to make sure that we keep everybody safe, including ourselves. The very recent government announcement, which came out Friday and then was updated for the web and in theory clarified on Monday morning, which is this, came out midnight Sunday into Monday and then was laid before Parliament 10 hours later. We haven't managed to really work out whether that means we can or cannot continue to start our physical rehearsal. So please just watch this space. If anyone's messaged us saying, does this mean you can't? Does this mean you can? Once we decide whether it affects us, we will let you know as soon as possible. For now, we're assuming that we will still meet on that 13th of October. But we will let you know if otherwise, because we have all your details.
And if and hopefully when we do recommence with those on that given date, we can assure you it will be because we've evaluated it to be as safe as possible to do so. I'm going to do a couple of comments before we go to another fantastic song. And over here at Comments Corner.
Comments Corner.
Now, Chris Collins says, "Hi, honey." Hi, Chris. And I think she does so in response to Jerry Poole, who says, "Woofer!" And Chris Collins very kindly updates us that Woofer is a reenactment group based in Lowestoft, to which Jerry belongs to. I belong to Dragon Shields, but we're all on good terms.
Uh-huh.
I bet you are until you get into a ruckus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till someone whacks you with a
Shield around the head.
massive great sword.
Yeah. Now, Michelle Gallagher gives our last song 4 rounds of applause, and Pat Briggs, and she says, enjoyed that. Thank you. Pat, how are you? We know you've been watching, but I think this is the first time I've seen you join us live, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So good to know that you're watching us live. Thank you very much for tuning in and commenting. We really value your comments, and we really value when you click on this lovely lady here, which is share. We really love it when you click share. So thank you very much for your comments, and thank you to everybody out there that clicks share, because it's very important to us. So a couple more comments. Carly Franklin says, I like that. Thank you very much. Maggie Clark gives 3 rounds of applause. And Chris Collins, again, she says, could be worm casts. And I think that's in reference to Shoshins, which is our Suffolk word or phrase in our regular "Hey, you heard it, boy" section.
Yeah.
Now, one more thing. Maggie Clark says, Shoshins, is it shoes that cover your shins, i.e. boots? So is Shoshins boots? No. There's been some great suggestions this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, what happened with the history walk with Kev? Do you want to sort of share for anyone who didn't manage to make it?
Yes, I do, because we offered this out to our Shanty chorus.
This is dear old Kev, by the way.
Dear old Kev Barnard. How are you, Kevin? Not sure if you're watching tonight, but thank you so much for that fantastic historical walk all around the wonderful Lowestoft scores. Now, Kevin told us some very interesting stories, and as the night started to creep in, as that darkness started to set across good old Lowestoft, the tales got spookier and a little bit scary. And he told us about the body that was never recovered possibly in the seawall of Lowestoft.
Oh,
yeah.
That sounds a bit serious.
It was serious for the body that was never discovered. It could just be that he went home. We're not sure.
But everybody had a good time. Yes.
Oh, a wonderful time. Everybody was socially distanced. And our Shanty chorus normally looks like this. Wonderful group of people. You can see there's many singers there, and that's not everybody. That was just the group of people that could make it on that.
That was just the ones that passed the audition.
Yeah, yeah. There was an audition.
Yeah. Anyway, look, we're going to do another song now. This is a song about the life of a sailor, and he's recounting the fact that the pub is always willing to be your friend until you run out of money, which is the case really with everyone and everything, isn't it? But round 913, we'll pop it up in the credits at the end. We came across this from a recording of Peter Bellamy, which was a record from 1969, and it was his second solo LP called Fair England's Shore. Song called Jolly Roving Tar, also known as Get Up, Jack. John, sit down. Yeah, let's pop the lyrics on. It's number 51.
Ships may come and ships may go, just as long as the seas do run. And a sailor lad, likewise his dad, he loves his pork and rum. Now alas ashore he do adore one that's plump and round. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with the jolly roving tar. When Jack's ashore, he makes his way to some old boarding house. He's welcomed in with rum and gin, likewise his fork and scouse. Now he'll spend and never offend until he's drunk on the ground. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with the jolly roving tar. He then will slip aboard some ship for India or Japan. Or in Asia there the ladies fair, all after sailor man. He will trip ashore and he won't scorn to buy some maid a gown. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar. When Jack is old and weather beat, too old to sail about, in some grog shop they'll let him stop till 8 bells do ring out. His hands raised high, he'll loudly cry, thank God I'm homeward bound. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Come along, my jolly brave boys, there's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with the jolly roving tar. Oh, come along, me jolly brave boys, there's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar.
So lovely song. We love that. 51. So still a fairly recent addition to our repertoire. 51. And yeah. Anyway, it's also in a folk song collection called Modern Street Ballads, which I guess is not modern by our terms, but yeah, certainly, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I wonder if it's time before we forget to reveal what the word Shoshins. Would you like to know?
I would. What does Shoshins mean?
Well, let's have a look. So I've got my book here, Suffolk Words and Phrases, 1823, by Edward Moore, printed by David and Charles.
Edward Moore.
And
dear old Edward and dear old Charles.
Yeah. Shoshins means aslant or sloping. They've put Suffolk here. I can't quite understand it. It's written phonetically. Do yo cut that dreen shoshins athels tel keeve? In common English, do you cut that drain sloping or else it will cave or slip? Okay. So do you cut that there drain shoshins or else till keeve? Yeah. So I guess you need I am an authentic Suffolkian.
Damien Ainsley.
That is, we do. We need that boy. And he said, come on and just do the answer to this spot on a weekly basis. Come on, boy. Anyway, look, there's a little bit of interplay here from Rosemary. First, Sada Miss Kevin's walk was out gallivanting the camper van. Oh, yes, we heard all about it, Rosemary. Hope you had a great time.
The camper van wasn't on the Shoshins.
Yeah. And Carol also hopes you had a great time. And then Rosemary replies saying, yes, thanks. Now sitting in it overlooking Abberton Reservoir, listening. Oh, well, that sounds well cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carly says, love this song.
Thank you,
Sandra says, it was great. Did you know the Sparrow's Nest Lighthouse is the only one goes anti-clockwise? Kevin told us. Yeah. Yeah.
No, he did tell us.
Yeah. The Sparrow's Nest Lighthouse is the only one that the National Lighthouse Society
anyone in the UK
didn't know about as well, by the way. We were part of a project that contacted them for a list of all the lighthouses in the country, and they missed Lowestoft Lighthouse off the list.
They're only interested in
which is typical, isn't it?
Ones, obviously.
Yeah, not interested
bias.
in.
It's clear bias.
Anyway, so look, I think we're almost done. We've got time for one more song, and look, we're making this a bit of a habit. We're making this a bit of a habit by finishing on time. So we're going to do. I think we'll do this one. This is a cotton screwing shanty. So although we didn't learn this from Lydia Parrish's Slave Songs of the Georgia Sea Islands, certainly there's a lot of cotton screwing shanties or cotton work songs in that book. But in the 1800s, with the approach of winter, the Irish crews would desert their western packet ships and they'd head south to work on the cotton stowing ships, like Mobile or New Orleans, and they worked in very, very cramped conditions. So they were on board ship, but working in the hold, and it was called the term was called screwing because they would work literally elbow to elbow and manage to fold this cotton and then force it into every available corner. So that was where the term screwing came from. And the reason the Irish actually would desert the western packet ships was because Ireland was becoming very, very desperate around then. Certainly in the 1820s, they had the Irish potato famine, and as a result of that, and as a result of most of the workforce actually working, certainly most of the coastal workforce working on board ships, and moving across to the cotton ships as Hoosiers, as the term was, became the Great Migration to America in the 50s. And actually, two huge companies that were cotton packing ship lines were the Black Bull Line and the Blue Star Line, mentioned in a lot of shanties. We've done one already this evening. I can't remember what it is. The Blue Bull Line. Was it Albany Immigrants? Something.
Yeah, it must be.
And then there's another song. I think it's "Let the Bullgine Run."
Yeah, that's Black
which
Star
we do.
Line. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this is Whip Jamboree.
It's not one for lyrics because
it's not in our set so far.
No.
But we like to give you a bit of a mix.
Keep talking, Paul, because I'm not.
I'm going to say one last time, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I'm going to remind you that we stream every Tuesday night at 7:30. Be there, be square. And that will be until we are able to meet again in our regular spots. If you weren't aware, we also host local legend historian Ivan Bunn on alternate Monday evenings. Every other Monday we have Ivan here with us, and he tells us lots of interesting historical facts about Lowestoft and the surrounding areas on alternate Mondays. Again, 7:30 p.m. I'm going to also say thank you very much to everybody that's tuned in, either for the first time or for multiple times, or perhaps they're regular rogues that have been joining us in the Seagull Theatre when we normally meet on alternate Tuesdays. I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. Our next episode is number 27. That'll be on 22nd of September, next Tuesday.
We should also, bless you, we should also remind you that our history sessions with Ivan are not next Monday. We've switched to fortnightly, so they will be on the 28th of September with episode 17. He's 10 behind us and unlikely to catch up now, but who knows what the future may hold. But so not next Monday. Next week will only be Tuesday, us two. All right.
And one last time, I'm sure you already know, but although we live stream these, we put them out live on Facebook and now on YouTube, so you can watch on either platform. You can comment on either platform as long as you're signed in, and we welcome your comments. We welcome you sharing them. But please don't forget, if there's anything you've missed, please feel free to go back and watch any of these 26 episodes at your own leisure, in your own time. And while you're on there, let us know what your favourite Suffolk word or phrase has been out of all the ones that we've done. Michelle Gallagher, she picked Boomgelders.
Brumblegelder.
Brumblegelders.
Yeah.
And that's her favourite. Stevens as well. If you find any along the way, please let us know next week on the 22nd of September.
Anyway, this is Whip Jamboree. And now, me lads, be of good cheer, for the Irish coast will soon draw near, and we'll set a course for old Cape Clear. Oh, Jenny, get your oat cakes done. Whip jamboree, with your pigtail sailor hanging down behind. Whip jamboree, oh, Jenny, get your oat cakes done. Now Cape Clear, it is in sight. We'll be off Holyhead by tomorrow night, and we'll set our course the Perch Rock Light. Oh, Jenny, get your oat cakes done. Oh, whip jamboree, with your pigtail sailor hanging down behind. Whip jamboree, oh, Jenny, get your oat cakes done. Now, my boys, we're off to Holyhead. No more salt beef or weevily bread. One man in the chain, swinging the lead. Oh, Jenny, get your oat cakes done. Whip jamboree, with your pigtail sailor hanging down behind. Whip jamboree, oh, Jenny, get your oat cakes done. Now, my lads, we've got around the rock, all hammocks lashed and chests well locked. We'll haul her into the Waterloo dock. Oh, Jenny, get your oat cakes done. Whip jamboree, Jamboree with your pigtail sailor hanging down behind. Whip, jamboree, whip, jamboree. Oh, Jenny, get your oatcakes done. Now, me lads, we're all in the dock. We'll be off to Dan Larry's on the spot, and there we'll sink a good pint pot. Oh, Jenny, get your oatcakes done. Whip, jamboree, whip, jamboree with your pigtail sailor hanging down behind. Whip, jamboree, whip, jamboree. Oh, Jenny, get your oatcakes done. And now, me lads, be of good cheer, for the Irish coast, oh, it draws near. We'll set a course for old Cape Clear. Oh, Jenny, get your oatcakes done. Whip, jamboree, whip, jamboree with your pigtail sailor hanging down behind. Whip, jamboree, whip, jamboree. Oh, Jenny, get your oatcakes done. Oh, Jenny, get your oatcakes done. Oh, Jenny, get your oatcakes done. Jenny, get your oatcakes done. So good night. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time.